In a moment that left both the audience and Meghan Markle visibly uncomfortable, Stephen Colbert, host of The Late Show, confronted the Duchess of Sussex with biting questions and astute observations that many felt exposed the inconsistencies in her public persona. What began as an anticipated promotional interview quickly devolved into an awkward exchange, as Colbert's sharp wit and probing questions unraveled the polished veneer Meghan has so carefully cultivated. The episode, which has since gone viral, is being hailed as a rare instance of a public figure holding Meghan accountable for her alleged contradictions, self-centered narratives, and controversies. For years, Meghan Markle has portrayed herself as a victim of relentless media persecution, institutional racism, and family betrayal. Through interviews with Oprah Winfrey and her Netflix documentary with Prince Harry, she has painted a picture of herself as a misunderstood outsider, unfairly targeted by both the British royal family and public opinion. However, Colbert's no-holds-barred approach seemed to cut through the rehearsed answers, raising questions about the authenticity of her claims and the motivations behind her constant media presence. One of the most striking moments of the interview came when Colbert subtly yet pointedly questioned Meghan's repeated declarations of victimhood. While she spoke about the supposed hardships she endured as a royal, Colbert interjected with a quip about how her life, marked by multimillion-dollar Netflix deals, book contracts, and lavish California mansions, didn't exactly align with the archetype of a struggling individual. The audience erupted in laughter, but Meghan's smile faltered, exposing her discomfort. Critics have long argued that Meghan's narrative relies heavily on selective storytelling, conveniently omitting details that don't align with her claims of oppression. For instance, while she has accused the royal family of being cold and unwelcoming, several insiders, including former palace staff, have contradicted her accounts. Reports from former aides suggest that Meghan was given extraordinary support and resources, including private tutors to help her adjust to royal protocols and a personal staff to manage her every need. These revelations stand in stark contrast to her portrayal of being abandoned and isolated. Colbert's comments seem to resonate with viewers who have grown weary of Meghan's alleged hypocrisy. Social media erupted with reactions, with many praising the host for addressing what others have tiptoed around. Tweets like, "Finally someone said what we're all thinking," and "Colbert just exposed her for the fraud she is," flooded platforms like Twitter and Reddit. Another contentious topic that Colbert broached was Meghan's infamous claim during her Oprah interview that a member of the royal family had expressed concerns about the skin tone of her unborn child. This accusation, which Meghan and Harry have refused to substantiate with names or context, caused a media firestorm and led to widespread accusations of racism against the royal family. Colbert, known for his sharp humor, jokingly asked if Meghan was ever going to provide receipts for her dramatic claims. The audience's laughter was telling, as it reflected the growing skepticism surrounding the Duchess's allegations. While racism is a serious issue that should never be dismissed, many have criticized Meghan for weaponizing such claims without providing evidence, effectively smearing an entire institution while reaping the benefits of her royal connection. Moreover, investigative journalists have pointed out discrepancies in Meghan's story. For example, Meghan claimed during the Oprah interview that she was denied help when she felt suicidal, a statement that was rapidly debunked by reports showing that she had access to the royal medical team. Similarly, Meghan's assertion that her son, Archie, was denied a royal title due to his race was contradicted by royal protocol, which states that only grandchildren of the reigning monarch automatically receive such titles, a rule that applied to all royal children, regardless of race, before Queen Elizabeth's passing. Colbert's pointed questions about these issues seemed to strike a nerve. Meghan, who is usually confident in interviews, stumbled over her words and appeared visibly irritated. This reaction only fueled the perception that her claims lack credibility. Perhaps one of the most glaring contradictions in Meghan Markle's public image is her relationship with the media. On the one hand, she has repeatedly decried the press for invading her privacy and spreading falsehoods. On the other hand, she has willingly participated in high-profile interviews, podcasts, and even a 6-part Netflix docuseries that offered unprecedented access to her private life. Colbert didn't shy away from pointing out this irony. He jokingly asked, "So, Meghan, do you want privacy or publicity? Because it's getting hard to keep track?" The audience roared with laughter, but Meghan's tight-lipped smile suggested she didn't find the remark amusing. This moment underscored a growing critique of the Duchess, that she uses the media as both a scapegoat and a tool for self-promotion, depending on what suits her agenda. For example, Meghan has often claimed that the British tabloids targeted her unfairly compared to other royals. While it's true that she faced scrutiny, many argue that her actions, such as ghosting her family and making public accusations without evidence, invited criticism. Furthermore, Meghan's own actions have sometimes contradicted her calls for privacy. Her decision to wear a custom Dior dress worth tens of thousands of dollars to an event celebrating poverty awareness, for instance, was widely seen as tone-deaf and hypocritical. Colbert also touched on Meghan's relationship with Prince Harry, which has been portrayed as a fairy tale romance. However, cracks in this narrative are becoming increasingly apparent. In recent months, reports have surfaced suggesting tension between the couple, with insiders claiming that Meghan's controlling nature has alienated Harry from his friends and family. During the interview, Colbert made a lighthearted joke about Harry's infamous memoir, Spare, which includes bizarre and deeply personal anecdotes, such as Harry's frostbitten anatomy during his brother's wedding. While the audience laughed, Meghan noticeably shifted in her seat, perhaps aware of the growing perception that Harry's oversharing has been encouraged, or even orchestrated, by her. Critics have also noted that Meghan's influence on Harry has coincided with his strained relationships with the royal family. Since their departure from royal duties, Harry has become increasingly estranged from his father, King Charles III, and his brother, Prince William. Many blame Meghan for exacerbating these rifts, pointing to her well-documented history of cutting people out of her life, including her own father, Thomas Markle. One of the most damaging impressions left by Meghan's interview with Colbert is the sense that her public persona is carefully manufactured rather than genuine. From her exaggerated facial expressions to her rehearsed answers, many viewers felt that Meghan came across as insincere and overly polished. This perception is not new. Meghan has faced accusations of being a social climber who strategically builds relationships to advance her own interests. Before marrying Prince Harry, Meghan reportedly tried to befriend British celebrities like Piers Morgan, only to ghost them once she gained access to more influential circles. Similarly, her estranged half-sister, Samantha Markle, has accused Meghan of fabricating stories about her upbringing to appear more relatable. Colbert's interview seemed to amplify these doubts. His ability to subtly highlight Meghan's inconsistencies without outright confrontation left her struggling to maintain her composed image. For many, this was a moment of reckoning, a public figure being held accountable for the narratives she has spun. Stephen Colbert's interview with Meghan Markle will likely be remembered as a turning point in the public's perception of the Duchess. While her supporters continue to defend her as a victim of systemic racism and media bias, an increasing number of people are questioning the validity of her claims and the motivations behind her actions. By exposing the cracks in Meghan's carefully constructed image, Colbert has reignited a broader conversation about accountability, authenticity, and the dangers of unchecked narratives. Whether this marks the beginning of Meghan's fall from grace remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the public is no longer accepting her stories at face value. In a world where image is everything, Meghan Markle's interview with Stephen Colbert serves as a stark reminder that authenticity cannot be manufactured, and that the truth, no matter how inconvenient, will eventually come to light.